Hello there and welcome to ADcraft. Today I'm going to be showing you how to build this amazing nether portal design in your world. So don't go anywhere, and first of all let's have a look at the blocks. Pause the video now to check out what you need. The obsidian and crying obsidian will always remain the same, but the other blocks may change depending on what variety that you use. Here's the floor plan for the build, and I've marked on for you the various dimensions there. It's centered within a 13 diameter circle, and we will get into the building now. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to build up the quad nether portal in the center. Now I've made this quite big to fit in with the scale of the spiral, as you can see here, but you could make it a little bit smaller, you could make it a little bit narrower or shorter if you wanted to save yourself some obsidian. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to use some crying obsidian on the corners. Now I'm just going to show you one side because they are exactly the same on all four sides, so just repeat this step all the way round, and then in between we are going to place 5 obsidian like so. Now stepping up, the total height of this is going to be 12 high, which means that we've already got one block there. We're going to come up another 10 with the obsidian here. Once we've got the 10 on this side, we're going to place ourselves a crying obsidian, and we're going to pillar the other side up to the same height with a crying obsidian on top. With those two sides in place, now we're just going to put the crossbeam in, which is going to be another 5 obsidian here. And as you can see, we've now got a huge nether portal here, which we can then replicate on all of the other sides. With all of those nether portals in place, it's worth mentioning to make sure that you've got your nether portals in the right place so they do connect up with where you want them in the nether. And just in case you weren't aware, the overworld position is 8 times that in the nether. So whatever your coordinates are on the X and Z coordinates, those will be multiplied by 8 to get your overworld position. And likewise, it'll be flipped round. So you take your overworld position and divide by 8 to get your position where you want to go in the nether. So that's how you link everything up. So make sure that where you have got your nether portal so it is connected to the right place. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start working on the lovely swooping spirals that go all the way around. These are more simple than you would imagine. The blocks that we are going to be using are blackstone, gilded blackstone, the polished blackstone bricks, and the cracked polished blackstone bricks, so those two varieties. You can use them in any quantities that you wish. However, I would suggest that you probably want to use the majority of them being the polished blackstone bricks and just the blackstone themselves, just because they're easier to get hold of, and then you can just sprinkle in some of the other blocks as you go. Now alternatively, you can build it all up in one brick type, and then you can go through replacing the bricks. But what we're going to do for this is, firstly, we're going to find the middle. It doesn't matter which side you start on. I will be showing you how to start off on one side, and then some check-in points to make sure you get to the right place going up. So whichever side you're starting on, find the center. We're going to start this just with some blackstone, because why not? Then we're going to place a blackstone brick and finish off with a cracked blackstone brick, and again it doesn't matter. And we're going to be going across 3 blocks. Now each of these 3 blocks are going to be stepped 1 block further round the circle as we go. So each time on each layer, all you're doing is adding 3 more blocks, and each time you're moving 1 block further anti-clockwise round the build. And what I mean by that is, for this one, what we're going to do is place a gilded blackstone and a blackstone here. So that's 2 of our blocks, and the next one, again, this is using some of the temporary blocks. I'll just use that there. We've now got the second layer, which is equally 3 long and just sticks out 1 block further this way. Now we're going to do exactly the same thing. So we come across 1 block further this side. Then let's put a cracked blackstone brick and some blackstone here. Now we're going to keep doing this and building up. And what I will do now is just show you this, but speed it up so that you can see all of the building process. At this point, you can see we've done a quarter of a rotation. So all the way around, all that I'm doing is adding 3 more blocks, but making sure that I line up with the areas here. Now, if you're having trouble keeping to the circle, you can always use some scaffolding or some blocks to pillar up on your pattern to make sure that you are in line, and that will then come up and place those blocks just outside your circle, placing something else normally in order to be able to see that. So let's get some purple wool and show you what I mean. So if we put purple wool in these corners, we can then see that actually we've now come up level with this right place. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to carry on, and I'm going to build the next quarter, and that's where we're going to stop. So we're going to stop at the point where we are directly opposite where we started. And once you get to this point within your build, you will now see that the 3 blocks that we have are level with this edge, which is just one inside this crying obsidian, and you have completed a full half rotation. So this takes us up to the point that we're just going to be following this pattern. So just do exactly what I showed you there, but with different blocks, obviously, just mixing them up again on all of the other sides, and then you will be most of the way there. Now that we've got to this stage where we've got all of these blocks in place and they're all at the same height with these spirals, we are going to add on each of these 5 more layers. So carrying on in exactly the same way that we were before, but I'll fast forward through this just to get up to that level, then show you what we're going to do. So now that we've added those extra 5 layers, then what we need to do is we need to start taking some of the blocks out. And this is going to be a bit of a random thing, just to make it look like it's fading away, like we've got these blocks here. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're always going to leave this very last block, and then we're going to start taking away some of the other blocks randomly, just so it looks, like I say, like we've got some of these blocks starting to disappear as we go into the sky. And this is the first layer that we'd placed. So however we want to do this, I'll probably put an extra one, probably on too many blocks there. As you can see, as we go round, that starts to then look like it's fading away. And just, yeah, loosely, you don't need to always take some out on every level, so I might put that one back for now, but just take them out and then carry on round. So add that on each of the different sides. As you see, it now looks fantastic. As you turn around, you can see that it just looks kind of like these last few blocks are fading away into the sky. So that also looks brilliant from down on the ground. Now you could leave it at this stage, or if you wanted to take it to the next level, we're going to add some further detailing. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take some black stone walls, and we're just going to randomly pick some places where we're going to add some walls. It doesn't matter where these go. You can place some on the top side, some on the bottom side. You can put them pretty much anywhere that you like, but don't put too many of them. It's just to break up the kind of the consistent nature of how these are. You don't always have to put them on the top, they don't always have to go on the bottom, they can go next to blocks, they can go on the side, but maybe place sort of between 6 and 12, no more walls all the way around. When you start to get to the top as well, then the walls can be really useful for adding a little bit of extra depth and extra weight by adding them in to the build at the top, like so. So just do that first of all, and there's maybe need for one more wall. Say there, let's go the one next to it. So some of it is trial and error as to where you think it looks good, but once you've got those walls in place, then the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to start adding some weeping vines and some chains. And again, we're going to add these relatively sparingly. The chains with the soul lanterns on the bottom aren't going to give a massive amount of light. They are more for the effect than anything. And the aim with these is not to, again, be too consistent. So if we've got a soul lantern that's hanging at this height here, we don't want that same height everywhere. We want the chains and the position and the length of these chains to just look like it is all broken down, it is all a bit random. So yeah, we're gonna, like I say, place these between every 2 and maybe 5 blocks, depending on where you want to put those chains. And the thing with the walls is you can also hang them from the bottom of the walls if you wish. But yeah, I'll put these chains in and these weeping vines and then show you on this one how that looks. as you can see on this, I have got some random heights in here, and the other thing that I've done is I've just added some string at the bottom. So that one there, for example, was a bit too long, a bit too consistent there. And when you look back, you might find some other gaps of places where you want to put them. So I might just put one here just for a couple of blocks, again there. And it's just to fill up the space a little bit. And generally, as you get towards the top, don't put quite so many things in. So like this one, for example, might just have a vine there, but with some string directly beneath it, so that that's not going to grow. And that's what the string does, it stops it from growing any further. So yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll put those all the way around on the different sides, and then I'll show you the finished version. So with the rest of those vines added, and also the lamps, I've just added also a red nether brick floor with some nether brick chucked in as well. Again, just promoting that look that everything's a little bit run down and broken. I hope you have enjoyed this video. I hope you do like the nether portal design. If you'd like to see more nether portal designs, do let me know in the comments. Make sure that you do hit that like button as well, as it really does help with the channel. And also, above all else, make sure that you subscribe and ding dong that notification bell. And all that's left to be said is thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time on ADcraft. Bye!